Hello friends, today I am here with a next part of biodiversity, that is Biodiversity of Assam. Now before starting my class, I would like to give few questions. Those questions: number one, why do Assam rich in biodiversity? Number two, types of forest found in Assam. Write some characteristics of each type of forest. Number three, significance of Ramsar sites, its criteria, function of Montrex Record. Number four, how does biodiversity vary in Assam? How it threatens? Write some conservation method. These are the very important questions. Okay, so now as usual, I would like to discuss about the biodiversity of Assam in a roadmap. Okay, in a roadmap, I would like to discuss about what? Biodiversity of Assam. Okay, first roadmap, what I will do, and the first roadmap, what I will do why Assam is rich in biodiversity. Okay, first roadmap, what I will do, why Assam is rich in biodiversity. Why Assam is rich in biodiversity. Number two, we will do, what are the different types of forest or vegetation found in Assam? What are the different types of forest or vegetation found in Assam? Then we'll study status of flora. We'll study status of flora. Okay, status of flora. Next we will study status of fauna. Status of fauna. Okay, next we will study about what? Wetlands. Wetland of Assam. Okay, about the Ramsar site and about the Montrex Record. Then the threat in Assam in biodiversity. Next, how do we conserve biodiversity? Conservation of biodiversity. Conservation of biodiversity. Okay, so we will study in what sequence? First of all, why Assam is rich in biodiversity? Because number one reason is what? Arunachal Himalaya is not covered with extensive snow. Okay, what I am saying, number one reason why Assam is rich in biodiversity, Arunachal Himalaya is not covered with extensive snow. Usually Arunachal Himalaya, which is also called Eastern Himalaya, okay, Arunachal Himalaya falls under Eastern Himalaya, and Arunachal Himalaya does not have as much snow cover. Okay, it is not having as much snow cover as other parts of the Himalaya, because of which what happened, many Chinese origin fauna, they can come easily to what? Assam. Okay, since Arunachal Himalaya is not covered with extensive snow, so because of which many of the Chinese origin fauna, they can come to Assam, which makes Assam rich in biodiversity. Okay, number two, as we know, many people from Tibet and Southeast Asia, they came to Assam in the from the very early ages. Okay, many people from Tibet and South Asia, they came to Assam from the very early ages. Now also they are coming. Okay, and when they come, they used to bring what? The flora and fauna of their origin. Okay, they used to bring the flora and fauna of the what? Their origin, and this makes rich in biodiversity of Assam. Okay, number 3, what? Assam falls under tropical climate. Okay, Assam falls under what? Tropical region. Assam fall under what? Tropical region. At the same time, we have what? Monsoon climate. We have what? Monsoon climate. Okay, what I am saying is what? I am saying that Assam falls under tropical region, and Assam also have what? Monsoon climate. These two region makes favorable condition for both flora and fauna. Okay, tropical region and monsoon climate, which makes favorable condition for the various flora and what? Fauna. Now, why it is tropical region? Because although Assam extended the latitude from approximately 24 degree north to 28 degree north. I am saying approximately because it's 27 point something I think, and it's what? Around 24. So I am taking approximately 24 to 28 degree north latitude Assam is covering. So we know that we know that suppose this is what? This is equator, this is 23.5 north, and this is 23.5 south. Okay, so these regions fall under tropic, but Assam falls approximately 24 degree north to 28 degree north, so it is beyond tropic region. Although it is beyond, but still the condition is almost similar. That's why we say what? It's under what? Tropical region. Assam falls under tropical region, and we have also monsoon climate. These two regions become or makes the Assam one of the richest for biodiversity. Okay, and number 4 reason is what? Northeast India. Number 4 reason is what? Northeast India is one of the rich in what? Floral diversity. Northeast region is what? One of the rich in the whole world. Northeast region is considered as what? One of the rich in whole world. In case of what? Floral diversity. In case of what? Floral diversity. What I am saying? Is what? Northeast India. Okay, Northeast India is one of the rich in the whole world in case of what? Floral diversity. And almost 50% of Indian plant are found in what? Northeast India. What I am saying, although Northeast is one of the rich region in the world in case of floral diversity, and about 50% of Indian plant are found in what? Northeast India. And one more region is there. We know that is very, very important region. That region is what? Assam falls under what? Indo-Burma hotspot. Assam fall under what? Indo-Burma hotspot. That I already discussed in the last class. Assam fall under what? Indo-Burma hotspot. And you know the hotspot. Hotspot means what? It's having huge biodiversity, and it's what? Threatened. Since India falls under Indo-Burma hotspot, so this makes what? Since Assam, although India, I am considering India, but Indian which state? Assam. Assam and all other northeastern states fall under Indo-Burma region, but since I am talking here only about Assam, Assam falls under what? Indo-Burma hotspot region, because of which what? It makes one of the rich biodiversity in Assam. Because of all these 5 region, Assam is rich in biodiversity. Number 1 is what? Arunachal Himalaya is not covered with extreme snow, because of which most of the floral diversity can travel to Assam. Number 2, most of the people from Tibet and Southeast Asia, they are coming to Assam. Along with them, they are bringing flora and fauna of their origin. Number 3, Assam falls under tropical region and it is having monsoon climate. Number 4 is what? Northeast is one of the richest part in the whole world in the floral diversity, and out of India 50% of the plants is found in what? Northeast India. And number 5th is what? In Assam falls under what? Indo-Burma hotspot, and hotspot means what? It is rich in biodiversity. So these are the what? 5 reason why Assam is what? Rich in biodiversity. Now second topic is what? Types of forest or types of vegetation in Assam. Types of forest in Assam. Types of forest in Assam. Okay. Types of forest in Assam. Okay. Basically there are 4 types of forest or 4 types of vegetation that is found in Assam. Okay. Number one is what? Tropical wet evergreen forest. Tropical wet evergreen forest. Okay. Number 2 is what? Tropical semi evergreen forest. Okay. And number 3 is what? Tropical deciduous forest. Tropical deciduous forest. And number 4 is what? Tropical grasslands. Okay. Tropical grassland. These are the 4 division of forest or vegetation found in what? Assam. Okay. These are the 4 basic division of what? Forest in what? Assam. Okay. Now before explaining all these things, all these 4 types of forest or 4 types of vegetation, I would like to say something. What is that? For any trees, what I am saying, for any trees, okay, for any tree, okay, it need 2 basic requirements. One is what? Sunlight. Another is what? Water. One is sunlight, another is what? Water. Water means source is what? Rain. Source is what? Rainfall. So I can say 2 basic requirements for the growth of the tree. One is sunlight, another is what? Rainfall or water. Now what happens if the sunlight and water, if the tree or the plants used to get the sunlight and water for whole 365 days, okay, or throughout the year. What I am saying, if the tree or the plant gets the sunlight or water, okay, for throughout the year, if the tree gets sunlight and water for whole year, then what happen? The tree will what? Remain green throughout the year. What I am saying, if the tree will get sunlight and water, okay, throughout the year, if this sunlight and water is available for the tree for whole year, then the tree will remain what? Green. That means the tree will shed its leaves, but all the leaves will not shed at the same time. the tree will, of course it will shed its leaves, but at the same time of the year all the leaves will not shed. What I am saying, at the same time all the leaves of the tree will not shed, because of which tree will remain what? Green. Why tree will remain green? Because the tree will not shed its leaves together at the same time. At the same time the tree will not shed it all the leaves. Okay, that's why, since at the same time the tree will not shed its leaves, okay, together, therefore we can observe the tree as a green. Okay, that means if the tree will get sunlight and water throughout the year, then the tree will remain as a what? Green. Or you can say tree will remain what? As a evergreen. Okay, because it is getting sunlight and water, which is these two, and one more component is their humidity. Okay, humidity. Okay, and these three are basically what? Climatic condition. This sunlight, water, humidity, this is said to be what? Climatic condition. Okay, climatic condition. Okay, climatic condition. Okay, so these three, tropical wet evergreen forest, tropical semi evergreen forest, tropical deciduous forest, this will based on what? Climatic condition. And tropical grasslands will not depend on climatic condition, it will depend upon what? Condition of the soil. It will depend upon what? Condition of the what? Soil. I will explain later. Okay, so first what I am saying, if any tree used to get sunlight and water throughout the year, then the tree will remain as what? Green, because all its leaves will not shed at the same time. That's why the tree remain as a green. But if sunlight and water, okay, out of these two, if tree cannot get anyone throughout the year, out of sunlight or water, if any tree that do not get these two together for a year, for example, for the last 9 months, a tree for the last 9 months, this tree is getting both sunlight and water together. This tree is getting both sunlight and water together for the 9 months. But what happened? During last 3 months, it is getting sunlight but it is not getting water. What I am saying, this tree is getting sunlight and water for the 9 months, but during last 3 months it is getting sunlight but not getting water. That means not getting rainfall. Then what happens? Then the trees will what? Shed its leaves. This tree will what? Shed its leaves together. Why? At the same time. This tree will shed its leaves at the same time together. Okay, because it is not getting sunlight and water that means it is getting sunlight and water for the last 9 months, but in the last 3 months it is not getting rainfall. Okay, sunlight it is getting, of course, but it is not getting water. So what this tree will do? Because it is not getting water for last 3 months, what it will do? It will adapt itself by shedding its leaves. Okay, so what I am saying, this tree in evergreen forest, what is happening? That tree is receiving sunlight and water throughout the year. That's why it is what? Green. That's why it is green. But in another place which is not evergreen forest, it is another type of forest where sunlight and water it is getting for 9 months, but for last 3 months it is getting sunlight but it is not getting water or rainfall. Then what it will do? It will shed its leaves. Okay, it will adapt, the tree will adapt itself by shedding its leaves. Okay, if that means what I am going to say, summary is what? If sunlight and water, okay, out of these two, if a tree do not get throughout the year, then it will shed its leaves. Okay, and why it will shed its leaves? Why it will shed its leaves? Reason is very simple. Because plants, what plants? Plants need what? Plants, okay, suppose this is the plants. Okay, this is what? Plant. Plant needs what? Plant needs what? Water. Plant needs what? Water. Plant needs what? Water. Okay, so there is a cell that is called xylem cell. Okay, xylem cell inside the plant. That xylem cell transport the water from the ground to the leaves. Okay, that xylem cell transport the water. Okay, transport the water through the this roots. The roots will absorb the water from the ground, from the water table or from the ground. These roots will absorb the water, and this xylem cell will bring this water. Okay, and it will bring the water up to what? Leaf. Up to what? Leaf. In the leaves, what we have? In the leaves we have a what? Opening. In the leaf we have a what? Opening. Okay, in the leaf what we have? An opening. These opening are said to be what? Stomata. These opening are said to be what? Stomata. Okay, so what I am saying? The root will absorb the water from the ground, and the xylem cell will transport this water up to what? Up to what? Leaf. And in the leaf they have what? Stomata. Stomata is nothing but what? Opening or hole present in the what? Present in the leaf. And through this stomata, what the plant is doing? Through this stomata, it is the water is going to the what? Atmosphere. Water is going to the atmosphere. That means whatever excess amount of water is present in the plant, okay, whatever excess amount of water is present in the plant, these are the stomata is sending this excess amount of water into the what? Into the what? Atmosphere. This process is called what? Transpiration. What is called transpiration? The process by which water from the plant is moving out into the atmosphere through the stomata present in the leaf is called what? Transpiration. Transpiration is what? The process of removal of water from the plant to what? Atmosphere. The process of removal of water from plant to what? Atmosphere is called what? Transpiration. Okay, so what is happening? Why it is shedding its leaves? It is shedding its leaves because reason is very simple. It is shedding its leaves because in Assam, most of the places in Assam, what we are having in the spring season, rainfall is not occurring. So these plants, okay, the rainfall is not occurring. The rainfall is what? The rainfall is not occurring in Assam in most of the places, okay, or in few of the places in Assam for the last few months in the month of spring. Okay, in the month of spring rainfall is not occurring. So when rainfall is not occurring, so it is the plant is not having excess amount of what? The plant is not having excess amount of what? Water. Since it is not having excess amount of water, but what stomata is doing? The stomata is what? Transferring or removing the water from the plant into atmosphere. Okay, but we know that the water is essential for both flora and fauna. The plants also, water is very essential for the plants. Okay, but what stomata is doing? Stomata is what? Transporting the water from plants to what? Atmosphere. Okay, so if the stomata will transport the water from plants to the atmosphere, then this plants will feel what? Scarcity of water. Scarcity of water. Okay, these plants will feel what? Scarcity of water. Okay, so if it will feel what? Scarcity of water, then what the plant? Then plant will be what? Endangered, because plants without water no life can exist. So similarly, it is feeling less amount of water, scarcity of water, so its life is also in danger. That's why it shed its leaves. Okay, it's so that the trees shed its leaves so that, okay, so that there will be no effect, okay, so that their transpiration can be prevented. In order to prevent the transpiration, these plants what they do, these plants set their leaves in order to prevent the transpiration, okay, because water is needed to plants also. Water is very essential for the plant. So since by the process of transpiration water is moving out, and in the spring season already rainfall is not there, so it is feeling the scarcity of water. So in order to prevent further removal of water from the plant, it has to prevent our transpiration. In order to prevent the transpiration, what it is shedding, the plant is what shedding the plant is what shedding the leaves, okay, the plant is what shedding the leaves, plant is what shedding the leaves. So in short, if I want to summarize this, what I will summarize like this, okay, I will summarize like this. That means if water and sunlight will get throughout the year, then we can see what evergreen forest. If the forest or the trees get water and sunlight throughout the year, then the forest is said to be what evergreen forest. If out of water and sunlight, if anyone is not getting by the trees for some period of the year, if water or sunlight is not getting by the trees, then those categories of trees falls under what deciduous forest, okay. So basically there are what 4 types of forests found in Assam. Tropical wet evergreen forest. Why tropical? Because it is found in what, in the tropic region. Wet means what, the strength of the rainfall is what, very high, that's why wet. Evergreen means it's remain green. Now tropical semi-evergreen forest. Semi-evergreen forest means the strength of the rainfall is not much as compared to what, tropical wet evergreen forest. So in tropical semi-evergreen forest, the strength of the rainfall is not as much as of tropical wet evergreen forest. Next, tropical deciduous forest. Tropical, as already mentioned, it found in the tropic region. Deciduous means it shed their leaves during in some parts of the year, it shed the leaves of the trees, okay. And tropical grasslands, okay, tropical grasslands, that's based mainly on earth soil, and these three forests are basically what they depends on what, climatic condition, okay. So first of all we will study first factor, rainfall of tropical wet evergreen forest. It is found that rainfall of tropical wet evergreen forest is what, greater than 200 centimeter. What I am saying, the rainfall of tropical wet evergreen forest is greater than 200 centimeter, okay. It's greater than 200 centimeter, okay. It's greater than 200 centimeter. But in tropical deciduous forest, its rainfall is from 80 centimeter to 200 centimeter, okay. What I am saying, the rainfall of tropical wet evergreen forest is greater than 200 centimeter, and the rainfall of tropical deciduous forest is what, from 80 to 200 degree centimeter. Now what will be the rainfall here? What will be the rainfall of tropical semi-evergreen forest? This rainfall of tropical semi-evergreen forest will be less than 200 centimeter and greater than what, 80 centimeter to 200 centimeter. That means the rainfall of tropical semi-evergreen forest is greater than tropical deciduous forest and lesser than what, tropical wet evergreen forest, okay. Next condition is humidity. Humidity means what, amount of water vapor present in the atmosphere. Amount of water vapor present in the atmosphere, that is called what, humidity. Now humidity is concerned, it is found that, and humidity is what, annual average humidity. Annual average humidity of tropical evergreen forest is found what, it is greater than 77 degrees 77%. Okay, the annual average humidity of tropical wet evergreen forest is found to be greater than 77%, and the humidity of tropical semi evergreen forest is what? It is what? Almost equal to what? 75%. And the humidity of tropical deciduous forest is what? From 60 to 75%. Okay, 60% to 75%. Okay, now temperature almost remains same, almost little bit variability, but almost around 25 degrees centigrade everywhere. Okay, little bit variation is there, but that doesn't matter. Okay, now dry season. Okay, now dry season is concerned here in tropical evergreen forest. The dry season is very limited. The dry season is what? Very limited. Okay, very limited dry season. That means duration is very short. Duration is what? Very short for dry season in case of tropical wet evergreen forest. But in case of tropical semi evergreen forest, the duration is larger than tropical wet evergreen forest and lesser than what? Tropical deciduous forest. Okay, what I am saying is what? The dry season in tropical semi evergreen forest is what? It's larger than what? Tropical wet evergreen forest, but it is lesser than what? Tropical deciduous forest. That means what? Dry season is what? Very large. Okay, very large. Okay, if I compare this, if I compare the dry season of tropical wet evergreen forest, it is lesser here. It is little bit bigger than this. It is bigger than all. Okay, very short, larger, and very large. Very large means it is larger than what? Tropical semi evergreen forest. Now, of course, since you see, this evergreen forest, they are getting both rainfall and sunlight. Okay, they are getting both rainfall and sunlight throughout the year. That's why the forest is what? Very dense here. Okay, forest here is very dense because rainfall is getting throughout the year, as well as sunlight is also getting. Rainfall and sunlight is getting by what? Tropical evergreen forest, what? Throughout the year. Okay, that's why it is very dense. It is as compared to tropical wet evergreen forest, it is what? Little less denser. It is little less denser. Okay, it is less denser, and of course it is little bit, okay, little bit again less denser. That means it is again less denser. Why less denser means, if I study like this, this is more dense, this is little, it is also denser, but it is denser than tropical deciduous forest, but less denser than tropical wet evergreen forest. And it is what? Less denser than these two. Okay, so it is more dense, it is a little bit less dense, it is what? Less denser than these two. Now, tree storage structure. What is tree storage structure? Tree storage structure means what? In tropical wet evergreen forest, in the first line we will get what? Herbs. We will get what? Herbs. Herbs means just like grass. Okay, they are very small. Okay, in the first line we will get what? Herbs. In the second line we will get what? Shrubs. We will get what? Shrubs. We will get what? Shrubs. And the third line we will get what? Trees. Okay, third line we will get what? Trees. Okay, in the first line we will get herbs, in the second line we will get shrubs, in the third line we will get what? Trees. That means they will found like a story. Okay, first in the first line we will have herbs, that means small grass like plants, and next shrubs means little bit bigger than herbs, trees means what? Bigger than all. So it is in a what? First first which are very short, they will stay in the first line, little bit bigger, they will stay in the second line, again bigger, they will get in the third line. Okay, this is what? Story. This is looking like a what? Story. Okay, in the first line you will get halves, second line you will get subs, in the third line you will get what? Trees. Why it is in like this? Because they all are competing to get what? Sunlight. Since they are bigger, since in order, what happened? They are in this way, they are like a storage structure because they are in competition to get what? Sunlight. Okay, in the first line you will get halves, next line you will get subs, in the third line you will get what? Trees. But in tropical deciduous forest, okay, the three storage structure is what? Is not available. We cannot distinguish. We cannot distinguish three storage structure. We cannot distinguish three storage structure in what? Tropical deciduous forest. Here, tropical semi-evergreen forest, we can get little bit, but we cannot, it is not completely visible. It is not completely visible in tropical semi-evergreen forest. The three storage structure is not completely visible. It is there, but not completely visible. But here in tropical deciduous forest, it is what? Not distinguished. That means we cannot observe. We cannot see that three storage structure. Here it is there, because here we can see little bit three storage structure, but not complete visible as what? Tropical wet evergreen forest. Okay. Next, location is very important. Next, location is what? Very, very important. Why location is very, very important? Location is very, very important because in Assam they might ask you the location. Okay. Now where this tropical wet evergreen forests are found? I already mentioned in the Jaipur. Okay, Jaipur forest is what? Tropical wet evergreen forest. Where it is found? It is found in what? Tinsukia. It is found in what? Tinsukia, Dibrugarh, then Sibsagar. Okay, then Jorhat, then Golaghat. Okay, Golaghat. I am going here. That means if we go from east, first eastern part of Assam is what? Eastern part is what? Tinsukia. Then we get Dibrugarh. Then we get Sibsagar. Then we get Jorhat. Then we get Golaghat. So I am coming from most eastern part. Okay, I am coming from most eastern part. Okay, here if it is Tinsukia, then it is Dibrugarh, then it is Sibsagar, then it is Jorhat, then it is Golaghat. Just I am showing. Okay, just I am showing like this. Okay, that means it is in a I am showing just in a eastern, is from eastern to western. Okay, so in this, so Jaipur forest is basically in Tinsukia, Dibrugarh and Sibsagar. Okay, so here we found Jaipur forest, and Jaipur forest is known for what? Tropical wet evergreen forest. In addition to this, in Jorhat and in also Golaghat, we found what? Tropical wet evergreen forest. Okay, and besides this, there are also few places. I think in Karimganj also we find that tropical wet evergreen forest little bit. But these five districts are what? Major contribution of what? Tropical wet evergreen forest. Okay, Tinsukia, Dibrugarh, Sibsagar, Jorhat, Golaghat. Okay, now where do we find tropical semi-evergreen forest? Okay, where do we found what? Tropical semi-evergreen forest. It's in what? We know Nagaland. Okay, in the foothills of Nagaland, there are basically two districts are there. Suppose this is Nagaland. In the foothills of Nagaland, there are in the northern part of the Nagaland. Okay, in the northern part of the Nagaland, here we have two districts. Mainly one is what? Jorhat, another is what? Golaghat. So Jorhat, Golaghat, and here is Karbi Alang. Okay, so Jorhat, Golaghat and Karbi Alang we found what? Tropical semi-evergreen forest. Tropical semi-evergreen forest. And in where we found tropical deciduous forest? Tropical deciduous forest we found in what? We have to go like this. We found in Kokrajhar. Okay, Dhuburi. We found this. Okay, Sirang district. Okay, Sirang district we found. Okay, Kokrajhar, Dhuburi, Sirang district, then Borpeta. Okay, then in Kamrup. Okay, Kamrup, Nagaon, Morigaon. Okay, Kokrajhar, Dhuburi, Sirang district, Baksa district, then Nagaon, Morigaon, again Kamrup. These are the places where we found what? Tropical deciduous forest. Okay, tropical deciduous forest. Now, what are the trees we found? What are the trees? Okay, there are some trees that we found in tropical wet evergreen forest. Okay, what are the trees? Can you say me what are the trees? What is the state tree of Assam? It's a holong. Okay, holong and makai. Okay, state tree of Assam is holong and also one type of tree makai. These are the major two trees found in what? Tropical wet evergreen forest. And in tropical semi evergreen forest we can say sampa and kadam. We can say sampa and kadam. Okay, there are many trees, but these two I am writing in major. You just see from the book and write. Okay, so in tropical semi evergreen forest, major trees are sampa and kadam. And what is the in the tropical deciduous forest? What is the major trees we found? Major trees is what? Major trees is what? Sal and teak. Sal and teak is the what major trees that found in what? Tropical deciduous forest. Okay, in tropical deciduous forest we found what? Sal and teak. In tropical wet evergreen forest we found holong, makai, etc. And tropical semi evergreen forest we found sampa, kadam, etc. And tropical deciduous we found sal, teak, etc. Now fauna. Okay, fauna is also important because where our topic is biodiversity. Okay, so flora and fauna is most important. Now here we found what? Insects. Okay, amphibia, reptile, etc. Okay, this we found here. Here also we found what? Insect, amphibia, and reptile, etc. Okay, and here we get what? Most dangerous animal, elephant, tiger, etc. Okay, this we found here. Okay, so these are the what? Various types of forests and their characteristics what we found here. Okay, these are the various types of forests, but I am not mentioning what? Grasslands. Now I will mention what? Grasslands. Grassland I will discuss separately. Now I will discuss what? Tropical grasslands. Okay, now we will discuss what? Tropical grasslands. Now I will discuss what? Tropical grasslands. Okay, tropical grasslands. Okay, we will discuss here tropical grasslands. When I am talking about the tropical grasslands, okay, tropical grasslands, okay, when I am talking about the tropical grasslands, here you remember there are basically three areas. One is called Terai region. Next is called what? Riverbank or riverine island. Okay, riverine island. Okay, and number three is what? Number three is what? Swamps, marshes and swamps. Marshes and swamps. Marshes and what? Swamps. Now, what here we found what? Tropical grasslands is found in Terai region, Riverbank and riverine region, and marshes and swamps region. Now, what is Terai region? Terai region actually is nothing but this is the region that is found in what? Northern bank of Brahmaputra. Northern is the region found in what? Northern bank of Brahmaputra. Northern bank of Brahmaputra. We found what? Terai region. Okay, or we can say this Terai region is lying on the foothills of Himalaya. Okay, this Terai region is lying what? On the foothills of Himalaya. Okay, foothills of Himalaya. What I am saying, Terai region is what? Found in the northern bank of Brahmaputra or foothills of the Himalaya. And I already discussed that it is not the climatic, that means this grasslands is not occur because of climatic region. It occurs only because of what? Because of what? Soil. Because of what? Because of region, main reason is what? Soil's characteristics. Okay, soil is the main reason why this type of tropical grasslands is found. Okay, the climate, it does not depend upon what? Climatic condition. Now, why we found the tropical grassland in Terai region? Because this region is what? This region damp. The soil of this region is what? Damp. We found the damp soil. We found what? Damp soil. Since we found damp soil, and this damp soil, they cannot hold the trees, the roots of the trees cannot hold that in the damp soil. Okay, because roots also needed sometimes. That means roots will depend on soil. Okay, Roots will depend upon soil. Since this is a damp soil, in the damp soil roots cannot hold. Root cannot keep in hold. It cannot hold the soils. Damp soil cannot be holded by roots. Damp soil cannot be held by what? Roots. So damp soil, since damp soil cannot be held by roots, therefore trees are not available here. Trees are not available because in the damp soil roots cannot hold the soil. So trees are not available here. Only the tropical grasslands are available, and these grasslands are also called what? Elephant grasslands, because height of these grasslands are very high. Okay, so only the dampness of the soil is the favorable condition for what? Tropical grasslands, or you can call it elephant grasslands. Why it is elephant grassland? Because the grassland is very long. The grass becomes very tall. Grass become very tall. That is why it is called elephant grasslands. And here we cannot find trees because the roots of the trees cannot hold the what? Soil. Okay, so I think Tarai region, it is clear for everybody that because of the soil, because its soil is damp. Since soil is damp, so trees cannot be available here. Only this is the favorable condition of our tropical grasslands or elephant like grassland. Another is what? Riverbank or what? Riverine. In this region also what? In this region also what? We found what? We found what? Tropical grasslands. Okay, we found what? Tropical grasslands. Now tropical grassland in riverbank or in riverine. Okay, so in riverbank, okay, in riverbank we found what? Tropical grasslands. Why? Because the river, the soil is what? Sandy. The river, in the riverbank, the soil that we found is what? Sandy. And in the sandy soil, trees cannot grow. The trees cannot grow on what? Sandy soil. Reason is very simple. The roots of the trees cannot what? Roots of the trees what? Cannot hold the sandy soil. And this sandy soil is a favorable condition for what? Tropical grasslands. Okay. This is found in what? Riverine Island. That is in Majuli. Okay. We have only, okay, island. Okay. We have only one. That means one largest island we have, that is called what? One largest river island, which is called Majuli. There also we found what? Tropical grassland. Reason is very simple, because soil of this river bank is what? Sandy, and in sandy soil, okay, the trees cannot hold its what? Roots, because of which trees we do not found, but this condition is favorable condition for tropical grasslands. And in the number third, we found a tropical grassland in marshes and swamps. And marshes is what? As we know that Assam, we have two rivers. One is Brahmaputra, another is what? Barak river. Okay, and we have many tributaries of Brahmaputra and Barak, but main two river is what? Brahmaputra and Barak. So there are many plains. In the plains we found what? Marshes and swamps. And what is marshes? Marshes is a wetland. Okay, it is what? A wetland. Okay, it is a wetland, and this wetland is very rich in biodiversity. This wetland is very rich in biodiversity. And what is this marshes wetland? It's a marshes wetland that forms a transitional zone. Okay, it forms a transitional zone. Okay, it forms transitional zone between aquatic ecosystem, okay, between aquatic ecosystem and land ecosystem, okay, and land ecosystem. What I am saying, wetland is a transitional zone that is found in between aquatic ecosystem and land ecosystem. And here in the wetland we found what? We found what? Tropical grasslands. Okay, and what is swamp is also wetland, and this is found in what? Most probably in the lakes, river, and in the bank of the river and the lakes. Okay, and these marshes and swamps, in addition to the tropical grassland, we found what? Meteca, we found what? Lily, lotus, etc. Okay, so these are the in this three region we found what? Tropical grasslands. One more grassland is found in, called what? One more grassland is found that is what? Grasslands on hill slope. Grassland on hill slopes. Okay, grassland on hill slopes, that is found mostly in what? In Karbi Anglong district and in what? In NC Hills. In Karbi Anglong and NC Hills, we found grassland on hill slopes. Why? Because of the zoom cultivation, the soil is the soil is almost useless because of the zoom cultivation, and this condition of the soil is favorable for what? Grasslands. Okay, so grassland on hill slopes is also found, okay, in Karbi Anglong and NC Hills. So these are the what? 4 different types of forest found in what? Assam. Okay, these are the 4 different types of forest. And in tropical grassland we found, tropical grassland is one of the type of forest, okay, and it is found in Tarai, Riverbank or Riverine and marshes and some. And there is one more grassland found in Assam, that is that grasslands in what? In hill slopes. Okay, and that is because what happened? Because of zoom cultivation, those areas become, those hilly slopes become what? Useless, and this condition become favorable for what? Grasslands. Now next topic is what? Status of flora of Assam. Okay, so this is flora and number of species. Flora, number of species. Okay, so flowering plants in Assam 3854. Then in angiosperm, again it is divided into 2 types. Okay, monocotyledons and dicotyledons. Monocotyledons is what? 2752, and dicotyledons is what? 1080. Again gymnosperms is 22, orchids is 328, bamboo is 42, cane is 14. Then medicinal plant diversity is 952 species. Plant of different conservation status 871 number of species. Endemic in Assam is 167 number of species. Critically endangered, vulnerable is 318. Rare for Assam 386. And the source I have taken from C. Borua and I. Ahmed. Okay, sometimes in the prelims direct questions may come that number of bamboo found in Assam, number of species of bamboo found in Assam 42, number of cane, that means species number of cane in Assam, that is 14. Okay, number of species of cane in Assam is 14. Like that direct question may come in the prelims. So next topic is the status of fauna. So in Assam, number of mammals, the number of in mammals number of species is 193. Okay, in mammals number of species is equal to what? 193 is found in Assam. Okay, 193 mammals found in 193 species of mammals is found in Assam. Number 2 in primates. Okay, primates in India we have what? 15 primates. Okay, in India we have what? 15 primates. Out of that 15 primates, 9 is found in Assam. And the birds, 950 species of birds is found in India. Out of that, 53.5% of species is found in Assam. Okay, that means in total number of species of birds in all over India is 950. Out of that, 53.5% is found in what? Assam. And 17 is what? Endemic. 45 is in the list of Red Data Book of India. Okay, next migratory birds is 280, amphibians is 60, butterflies. Okay, again butterflies, in case of butterflies, 1500 butterflies found in India, and almost 50% of butterflies is found in Northeast India. Okay, moths, it is number of species of moths in Assam is what? 387. Then reptiles is 116 number of species. In molluscan 39, that means 39 species of freshwater snail is found in what? Assam. And in case of fish, it is 185 number of species is found in case of what? Fish. Out of that, 25 species are used as what? Food. And then in mosquito, it is 156 number of species. And this, the source of this list is what? Environment and Forest Department of what? Assam. Okay, and remember this 950 in case of birds is 950 birds, 950 number of species is found in India. In case of bird, 950 number of species is found in India. Out of that, 53.5% is from Assam. That means out of this, 53.5% of bird is found in what? Assam. 17 is endemic to Assam, and 45 species from Assam in the category of birds is having in the list of Red Data Book of India. This is again very important. Now next topic is what? Wetlands of Assam. Actually, Assam has more freshwater wetlands than any other state in the northeast. And locally, wetlands are called Beals, Jala, Doloni, Hola, Pitoni, etc. Okay. And out of these wetlands, and why these wetlands are important? Because it is the wetlands are what? Rich in biodiversity. Wetlands are what? Rich in biodiversity. Okay. So Deepor Bill is the only wetlands in Assam which is in the Ramsar list. Okay, Deepor Bill is the only wetlands in Assam which is in the Ramsar list. Okay, which is in the Ramsar list. Okay, Ramsar list or Ramsar site. Okay, and other to Deepor Bill is in Assam. Deepor Bill is in what? Assam. Okay, is in Guwahati, and other two is from northeast. One is Rudrasagar. Okay, Rudrasagar in Tripura. Rudrasagar in Tripura is also what? Wetland having in the name in the Ramsar site. Okay, again Loktak in Manipur. Loktak in Manipur. Okay, Loktak in Manipur. Okay, it also has the name in Ramsar site. Okay, these three, as Deepor Bill in Assam, Rudrasagar in Tripura, Loktak in Manipur. These three are the what? Ramsar site in the entire northeast. Okay. Now, what is actually Ramsar site? Actually, we already know that wetlands has a very rich. Wetlands is very rich in biodiversity. Okay. So it's become very important for whole world that this wetlands is to be what? Preserve. This wetlands is to be what? Preserve, or this wetland is to be what? Conserve. Okay. So in 1971 in Ramsar. Okay. In 1971 in where? In Ramsar. Okay. In 1971 in Ramsar, what happened? In 1971 in Ramsar, what happened? I think 18 countries in the world. 18 countries in the world. Okay, at that time only 18 countries I think joined in the Ramsar Convention, and their basically outcome was to what? Conserve the biodiversity of what? Conserve the wetlands which is having what? Rich, which is what? Rich in biodiversity. The main outcome of Ramsar Convention was what? Main outcome was what? To conserve the what? To conserve and sustainable use of what? Sustainable use of what? Wetlands. The basic purpose, the basic outcome was what? Basic outcome was what? To conserve wetlands and sustainable use of wetland. Okay, to conserve wetlands and sustainable use of wetland, the basic outcome of what? Ramsar site in 1971. It is in the place of what? Iran. Okay, it is in the place of what? Iran, and it mentions the number 2. It mentions the wetland of international importance. It mentioned the wetland of international importance. Okay, and 2nd February 2nd February is celebrated as Wetland Day. 2nd February is celebrated as what? Wetland Day. Okay, Wetland Day. Okay, now only in 1971 I think only 18 countries are there. Now you will find many countries across the world. Okay, next what? There are some criteria to fulfill to be in the Ramsar site. There are some criteria, that means all the wetlands are not in the Ramsar site because there are many criteria. Okay, there are many criteria which have to be fulfilled in order to be in the Ramsar site. Out of those I will write three criteria. Okay, three important criteria. There are many criteria, but out of those I am writing what? Three criteria. Number one, the wetland must support vulnerable, endangered and critically endangered species. Number one. And number two is what? It must support population of plants and animals. It must support population of plants and animals which maintains ecological balance, Okay, and number three, the wetland must support 20,000 or more water birds. 20,000 or more water birds. Okay, so these are the three criteria. Many criteria are there. I am writing only three criteria, important criteria to fulfill. This criteria has to be fulfilled by the wetlands to be in the Ramsar site. Number one, it must support vulnerable, endangered and critically endangered species. Number two, it must support population of plants and animals which maintains ecological balance. Number three, 20,000 or more water birds must be there in the what? Wetland. Okay, and there is one more topic. Okay, that is called Montrick's record. That is called what? Montrick's record. Okay, Montrick's record. Okay, what is that? Montrick's record. Now, what is Montrick's record? Montrick's record actually what? See, suppose there are many Ramsar sites. But out of those Ramsar sites, there are some Ramsar sites which are what? Facing critical challenge. Which are facing what? Challenges. Critical challenges. Okay, what I am saying, there are many Ramsar sites. Out of those, few Ramsar sites are facing what? Critical challenges. And those Ramsar sites which are facing what? Critical challenges, their name is registered in the what? Montrex record. What I am saying, there are many Ramsar sites. Out of those Ramsar sites, what happens? Out of those Ramsar sites, only selected Ramsar sites which are facing what? Critical challenges, their name is in the what? Montrex record. Okay, their name is registered in the what? Montrex record. Their name is registered in what? In Montrex record. Okay, so it is a registered of those wetlands which is facing critical challenges. Okay, in India there are three actually Ramsar site. One was what? Loktak, another is at Koladev National Park in Rajasthan. Another was what? Silka. These three wetlands were having in the name of in the book of what? Montrex record. These three were having recorded in the what? Montrex record. Okay, these three were there in the Montrex record, but Silka which is in Orissa is delisted because it might have that means earlier it was facing critical challenges, now it might have saved that now it might be saved from that critical challenge. That's why it is what silica is what delisted. Okay, so this is what Montrex Record. Now next topic of biodiversity, that is threat to biodiversity of Assam. Number 1 point is what? Poaching, and it is very popular name in Assam because of what? Rhino poaching. Okay, rhino poaching, it is a very common in Assam, and most of the people we are hearing that rhino poaching. Okay, now why poaching, actually rhino poaching is done? Actually the horn that we used to get from the rhino is very costly. Okay, the horn which used to get from the rhino is very costly, and because of that what happens, we found many poachers. Okay, and there are many reasons why poaching is still continuing, although the rate is decreasing, but still it is what it's continuing. One of the reason is what, nearby the park, national park of Kaziranga, there are many militants. Okay, and also there are many people who are there without unlicensed firearm. That means they move with the firearm and not having license. Okay, so this is one reason. Number 2, the law is very weak. Okay, the poachers, they for them the law is what? Weak, because of which they do not fear of the law, and there are also poor governance, and poor governance is also one of the reason. And most probably what happens, the police, they are not so skillful to catch what? Poachers. Because of this reason, still now also poaching is continuing, although rate is what? Decreasing. Okay, number 2, dolphins are what? Fast losing habitat in Brahmaputra. Okay, the dolphins in Brahmaputra, dolphins, okay, Brahmaputra dolphins is considered what as endangered species. Okay, what happens, the river of the Brahmaputra is widening, and there is a siltation. Because of the siltation and widening of the river Brahmaputra, what is happening, the dolphins is losing its what? Habitat. And number 3, electrocuting the elephant. This is a common phenomenon in Assam. And poisoning of wild animals. Okay, number 4, rapid encroachment on animal corridors and reserve forests. Okay, this I can give example in the nearby us, that is in Guwahati. We found in Dipperbill. Okay, in Dipperbill what we have found, there is a elephant corridor, and nearby that corridor we have one road that connects from Garsuk to airport. Okay, so and besides this we have what? Railway track. So what is happening in the elephant corridors, when the elephant is to come, sometimes what happens, they used to die in the railway track because of the train colliding. Okay, so sometimes what happens, because there is an encroachment, or because there is a what railway track, or there is a road, because of which what happens, these elephants are diverted, and this results what? Man animal conflict. Okay, and number 6, introduction to invasive species. Okay, invasive, the words invasive means what? Foreign species. Invasive means what? Foreign species. What happens, sometimes there is an, suppose this is the environment here. Okay, this is an ecosystem. This is a what? An ecosystem, special ecosystem. Suppose I am considering this is Kaziranga. I am considering this is what? Kaziranga. Okay, this place is what? Kaziranga. Okay, this place is what? Kaziranga. Okay, this place is what? Kaziranga. So what is happening, there is a one species whose name is what? Mimosa. There is a one species whose name is what? Mimosa, and this mimosa species is what? Spreading from outside. This mimosa species is spreading from outside, and it is coming from what? Tea states. It is coming from tea states. Okay, it is coming from what? Tea states. Okay, it is coming from what? Tea states, and it's spreading into what? Kaziranga. What is happening, this species, this mimosa species is what? Very poisonous and very dangerous. Okay, this is a herbivorous plant, and this is very dangerous for what? Endangered rhino. Okay, the herbivorous rhino used to take this mimosa, and this is very poisonous, because of which what? The rhino is what? Decreasing. That means many rhino are what? Getting what? Killed. Why? Because of its mimosa species. Okay, mimosa, it is a what invasive species. That means in Kaziranga we do not, that is not native, this is not the native species of Kaziranga. It is spreading from tea states. Okay, and when this rhino used to take this mimosa, they used to what? Get die, because this is what? Very poisonous what? Herbivorous plant. Okay, and there are other reason: large scale deforestation, illegal mining, etc., illegal cutting of hills, earth cutting, quarrying of sand gravel from the river beds. Okay, and when this quarrying of sand gravel from the river beds, what is the impact? It used to what? Destroy the habitat of many flora and fauna of the rivers. Okay, and number 10 point is a flood. Of course, we know Assam, we're all familiar about the flood. Flood is to destroy what? Many habitats of the various plants and also animals. Okay, now last topic and most important topic is conservation of biodiversity of Assam. Okay, how biodiversity is conserved in Assam? What are the steps the government had taken, okay, for conservation of biodiversity of Assam, or what are the steps we environmentalists had taken to conserve what? Biodiversity in Assam. Okay, or the responsible citizen, what are the steps they had taken for conservation of biodiversity of Assam? Okay, number 1, declaring protected areas, and we all know that in the protected areas we have what? Protected areas, what are the in the protected areas we have what? National park, we have wildlife sanctuary, we have what? Biosphere Reserve, we have what? Tiger Reserve, we have Elephant Reserve. Okay, Elephant Reserve. Okay, and the protected areas is around 5% of total geography of Assam. Protected areas is of what? 5% of total geographical area of Assam. Okay, now we know we have what? 6 national park. Recently one Dihing Patka is proposed to be what? A national park. So national park is what? It is what? Gone to number 6. Okay, then we have Biosphere Reserve. We know Biosphere Reserve Dibusaikhe and Manas is the Biosphere Reserve. How much we have? How many? We have 2 Biosphere Reserves. Okay, we have what? 2 Biosphere Reserves and 3 Tiger Reserve and 5 Elephant Reserve. Okay, why this is done? This is done in order to what? Conserve what? Biodiversity. Okay, 6 national park and around 18 wildlife sanctuary, around 18 or 2 maybe or 3 maybe what? In proposed, and we have 2 biosphere reserves, 3 tiger reserve and 5 what? Elephant reserve. These are done in order to what? Protect the biodiversity of what? Assam. Okay, number 2, captive breeding of rare black soft shell turtle. Actually this black soft shell turtle is declared what? As extinct. Is declared as what? Extinct by IUCN. By IUCN this species has been declared as what? Extinct, but it got its new life in the pond of what? In the pond of Hoygrib Madhav Mandir in the Hazo. Okay, this rare black soft shell turtle, which has been declared as what? Extinct by IUCN, has got new life in what? In the pond of Hoygrib Madhav Mandir, which is located at what? Hazo. Okay, now there is a basic 2 purpose. One is captive breeding, another is what? The hatch turtles will be released in the wilds. Number 1 is what? Captive breeding will be done. Next what? Hatch turtles will be released in the wild. Okay, number 3, conservation of rhino. Rhino is very important topic for us because it is very precious. We are proud of the rhino because we have what? One-horned rhinoceros. Okay, and it is we Assamese are proud of the one-horned rhinoceros. It is a unique species across the world. Okay. Now, how conservation of rhino is done? There are many processes. Okay, but I am writing here 3 processes how the rhino is conserved. Here, Rhino Vision 2020. Actually, Rhino Vision 2020 was launched in 2005. Okay, in 2005, Rhino Vision 2020 was launched. The basic purpose was to have what? 3000 wild rhino. 3000 wild rhino by 2020. Okay. The Rhino Vision 2020 was launched in 2005. The basic purpose was to have 3000 wild rhino by the end of 2020. Okay. Next is what? Translocation of rhino. Actually, we know that the Pobitora, okay, it is what density is what maximum in Pobitora. It is famous because its rhino density is what it is what maximum density of rhino is what maximum in what Pobitora. So from Pobitora, rhino will be what translocated into what Manas National Park. Okay, it will be what translocated into what it will be translocated into what Manas National Park, where density of rhino is what rare. Okay, so translocation of rhino from Pobitora to what Manas in order to increase the what number of species of rhino. Number 3, special rhino protection force. Okay, we know rhino poaching. Okay, so in the area of Manas National Park, especially Kaziranga National Park, Divosaka National Park, and the Manas National Park, the youth of the youth staying nearby this park, they will be trained. Okay, they will be trained in order to protect the what rhino from poaching. Okay, this is the basic purpose of special rhino protection force established by what the government of Assam. Okay, one more provision, number 4, establishment of Vulsar conservation and breeding center at Rani. Okay, this one. See, the Vulsar is what it's the species of Vulsar is what very rare. That means it is depleting throughout the area. In the worldwide, if you consider, the Vulsar species is what decreasing. It's very rare. So in order to conserve the Vulsar, okay, government of Assam established what conservation and breeding center at what Rani. Okay, now what is the basic objective? The basic objective of the project is to have 50 pairs of Vulsars for breeding, with ultimate goal to release them in the wild. Actually, their main purpose is to have what 50 pairs of Vulsars for breeding and them to release in the wild. Okay, so this is one more steps. Number 5 is what boundary fencing and raised platforms for animals to take shelter during the floods. Okay, and a flood is a very common phenomenon. This time also it was most of the people of Assam, okay, they suffered this flooding problem. Okay, recently it is also going on, and the wild animals, okay, especially in Kaziranga, okay, because it is also what flooded heavily. So in that area also what happens, raise of platforms for animals during the floods. The raising platforms were constructed in order to take shelter for the animals. The animals will take shelter what in the raised platforms and save their life during, especially what during the floods time. Okay, now this is why highways should not pass through the national park. Okay, because lots of things happens, accidents. Most of the wild animals is to die because of accidents. So highways should not pass through the national park. It's a long-term solution. The highways should be diverted. It should be, if there is we can take the example of Kaziranga National Park. There is a what highway that should be what diverted. It should not passes through what in the mid of the national park. Okay. Now awareness from environmentalists, and we have already heard about our Purnima Devi Burman. Okay, she is what one of the famous environmentalists from Assam. Okay, and she got what Whitley Awards. Purnima Devi Burman, she got what Whitley Awards. Okay, Purnima Devi Burman, she got what? Whitley Awards. Whitley Awards. Okay, Whitley Awards. Okay, Whitley Awards. Okay, and it is what? A green Oscars. It is known to be what? Green Oscars. It is known to be what? Green Oscars. It is very prestigious awards. Okay, it is known to be what? Green Oscars. She got this in 2070s for her relentless work to conserve what? To conserve greater adjacent stork. To conserve what? Greater adjacent stork. Okay, and locally it is known as what? Hargila. Locally it is known as what? Hargila. Okay, because of his relentless work to save what? Hargila. Okay, she got this awards, which is called Whitley Awards in 2017, and this award is also said to be what? Green Oscars. Another man, and he is also what? He is known as what? Forest Man of India. He is known as what? Forest Man of India. I know. Do you know whom I am talking about? I think everybody realize what about whom I am talking. He is none other than what? Jadab Payeng. He is none other than what? Jadab Payeng. Okay. He is also one of the famous environmentalists of Assam. Why is known for? He is known for because he has spent his 30 years of life. He has spent his 30 years of life in building what? Trees. In building what? Trees. And he built a forest which is known to be Malay forest. He built a forest which is known to be what? Malay forest, and it was built in what? In what? In the riverine island of Majuli. Okay, he built a forest, and area is what? Around 568 hectares. 568 hectares. Okay, area is around what? 568 hectares. Sorry, 550. Okay, area is what? 550 hectares. Okay, 550 hectares of area. Okay, he built a forest in what? Majuli. Okay, in Majuli, nearby what? Nearby Kokilamukh. Okay, nearby what? Nearby Kokilamukh in Jorhat. Okay, he has spent his 30 years of life in building the trees, and he built a forest in the Majuli, which is known to be Malay forest. It is in the Kokilamukh in Jorhat, and for this he got what? He got what? Padma Shri Award in 2015. In 2015 he got what? Padma Shri. Padma Shri, and Padma Shri is the what? Fourth highest civilian award. Fourth highest civilian award. Fourth highest civilian award. Okay, that's all. I think conservation of biodiversity, and today I end my class here. In the next topic I will do another topic. Okay, and this is what? Enough for today. Thank you very much.